be a masterpiece. You must know that going in.
Do you have a personal connection closest to one of those 31, or are they all special in their own way?
It's like asking, which of your children do you love the most? You can't say.
She's too quick.
They're not. They're not. I'm grateful for each one. I've done my best, but I know that not everything I do will be a masterpiece. I do my very best each time. I do that when I'm cooking. I do that when I'm speaking. If I'm writing music, I do my very best. And
let's talk about this Women to Women conference. You know, what is your message about? I see you holding hands, and I see that connection already. What is your message to women?
Well, I'm grateful to be a woman. I don't know if I had a choice, you know, but had I had a choice, I'd like to think that I was intelligent enough to ask to be made a woman. At once, I know that I came here, and I used the pronoun I, meaning all women, and all black women, and all women. We came here to be multitaskers, and we shouldn't be surprised to be asked to be multitaskers, that we can do some of everything. Not everything we do is going to be a masterpiece now, but it will be the best we can do. That's all you can do, is the best you can do. And so sometimes what men need mostly are women who can do some of everything. Sometimes men are jealous and they act like they don't want a woman who knows a lot and can do a lot, and that's pitiful. I mean, suppose they suddenly had a stroke or had a heart attack or lost their driver's license. I mean, and the wife doesn't know how much money you have and doesn't know what bank you're banking in, doesn't know how to drive a car. My goodness, what a pitiful thing. That's pitiful. It shows they're not very smart. You're smart, you get a smart person. Try to make your friends smart. Tell them everything you know that's decent, that you think is wise. Tell them. So that your friend knows some things. That is your sister friend, your girlfriend, your husband, your gentleman friend. Tell them what you know, that you've already found this to be true. And then they then know something, and maybe a few later on down the way. Yeah.
How can we help each other as women?
Respect each other. Try not to be silly. And then by silly, I mean try not to be jealous of each other. Mm-hmm. Try not to be nasty and mean, catty about each other. Don't run gossip. Don't run rumors. Don't do that. You see a woman, try to show her respect. Show her appreciation. Yes, that's nice. And then if you're really lucky, you may get some in return.
You say you're a teacher who can write.
Yes.
I know from my personal experience using your words to climb mountains that words are sometimes the only way to harness that power. Words can be more powerful than weapons, certainly.
Well, words are very important. Understand that everybody in the world who isn't a mute or who isn't already who can speak at all. Everybody uses words in one language or another. And not everybody in the world paints or dances, not everybody in the world sings, but everybody uses words. So the writer has to use these most most known objects, words. In France, in Senegal, in Paris, in all over the world, people use words. Now, a writer has to come and say, I am, you are, he, she, or it. We are that. We have the writer. And so, you have to be able to take a few nouns, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, put them together and throw them against the wall and make them bounce. Make them bounce. I say that as a writer, and I say that in the company of Miss Sasha, because I know that she's also the radio personality or the television personality is also writing all the time. She has to be thinking on her feet all the time. And so you have to try to be clever, profound, funny, solemn. You have to do all those things all at the same time. Amazing.
Dr. Angelou, one more question.
One more question.
Sonia talked about losing her mom at an early age. You talked about your grandmother's raising you. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? The generations of women helping each other in families.
We have this, in particular African American women, we have this as a part of our culture and a part of what we brought from Africa, a part of what we brought as slaves. Women looked after other people's children. And this was so during slavery in this country. A woman who had to go to the fields, to the cotton fields, and leave her untended 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 3-year-old, left them in the care of women who looked after them. And so they were called mama. And so we have words which suggest that we have family ties. We have sister, tutor, bubba, auntie, uncle, hunter. Oh yes, meaning that we see ourselves as related to each other, and we lose something serious when we lose that. When we lose our availability of being called sister, uncle, brother. Come here, boy. Come here. I taught years ago at this professor at Wake Forest. I still am, but the students asked if I would sit in a question and answer, and I said yes. And so a young white man, he was about 19, said, Dr. Angelou, I'm 19. I'm not a man yet, but I will be. But this guy here, I can be called a boy. But this guy here, he doesn't want to be called a boy, although he's 19 too. And the fella he was pointing to was black. And he asked me, why doesn't he want to be called a boy? Why does he feel hurt angry when I call him a boy? And I said, there he is. Why don't you ask him? The truth is, you can teach each other much better than you think you can. And you owe it to each other to teach. Say what you know to be true. All right?
We're going to wrap this up.
Just press the circle.